What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead Houston, where it's all Houston all the time. Let's get into the wide receiver group for this Houston Texans team. If y'all remember, I just made a video a few days ago, maybe a few weeks ago, actually, kind of wondering if my concerns around this wide receiver group. It was before OTAs and minicamp had started, and I was really concerned about the injury factor of Christian Kirk and then trying to put a lot of faith into the rookie wide receivers that you currently have with Jayden Higgins and Jalen Noel. I was wondering and concerned about how impactful those guys were going to be in a more kind of pessimistic kind of video. But let's be real, man. Since OTAs in minicamp, my feel on the wide receiver group has changed. And we haven't even seen Jalen Noel at all because, I'm not quite sure, but he was at practice, but not actually working out. Maybe something minor he had, who knows. But we got to see Jayden Higgins specifically look like Nico Collins out there. You had local media members tweeting it out and kind of like trying to rub their eyes, and they're just like, oh my goodness, is that Nico Collins or is that Jayden Higgins? Wow, you're looking at a 6'4 wide receiver that can run the routes as smooth as he is, a gazelle running out there doing his thing. And my goodness, the height is real. The movement, the fluidity he has running these routes, catching, it is unbelievable. And we're just looking at him in just shirts and shorts right now. And now imagine adding the pads on, because we saw a hell of a play from him down the sideline against one of our better corners, the second best corner on the team, Kamari Lassiter, who had great coverage on him. Is there step for step for him? It was a hell of a throw by number 7, the quarterback of your football team, the Houston Texans, Mr. CJ Stroud. Dropped it in a bucket, but Jayden Higgins made a play on this ball here on Kamari Lassiter. I mean, my goodness. And it changed my tune. I went, oh, okay, wait a minute. Am I being disrespectful to Jayden Higgins? Because the impact he could have as a rookie, to me, is totally changed after just these plays. Because, again, the local media members, I mean, their jaws were on the floor. Every tweet was literally about Jayden Higgins, Jayden Higgins, Jayden Higgins, Jayden Higgins. And it was like, oh, okay, so this is what we're going to expect. And then Christian Kirk, have yourself a day. Day 2 of minicamp, he's out there again doing his thing. We had Kalen Bullock call him a slot demon, and there is a chemistry growing between CJ Stroud and Christian Kirk. And again, we had all of the local media members tweeting out Christian Kirk, Christian Kirk, Christian Kirk. And yes, do the injuries worry me? Absolutely. But even if he did go down with an injury, knock on wood, he doesn't. But for a few games, I am confident enough with the rest of my wide receiver group that Jayden Higgins, and whenever Jalen Noel gets on the field, and then we saw a little glimpse of Justin Watson, and we know how D'Amico Ryans feels about him. Does Braxton Berrios get into this? He's been recovering from that ACL injury way back in October. But then Xavier Hutchinson is still on this football team. He had a few little glimpses in a play here or there, and some good talk around the local media members here about Xavier Hutchinson. Can he find his way onto this football team? The wide receiver group, besides John Mechie, unfortunately, buddy, you keep dropping passes, and it's not looking quite good for you. But the rest of these wide receivers, I believe I downplayed the impact for Jayden Higgins as a rookie. We got to see what Christian Kirk could do in the slot. And if him and CJ continue this little chemistry that was created in minicamp and flourish that into training camp, into more practices leading up to the preseason and then the regular season, ladies and gentlemen, this wide receiver group might be better than last year's. And last year you had Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, and Tank Dell. But ultimately, you had a guy that did not know how to configure those parts in the right way in Bobby Slowick. You got a guy here in Nick Haley that you're hoping can make sure everything is working the right way. Everything is clicking and doing its thing, and we can get it rocking and rolling again. But you got yourself a damn good wide receiver group, despite 2 rookies that were added here, and despite them having the inexperience, obviously, but they look amazing. And by they, I mean Jayden Higgins, of course, looked amazing in practice. And so this wide receiver group has completely actually improved itself, not by quality, but more by quantity. And this Texans wide receiver group now with Nico Collins, Jayden Higgins, Christian Kirk in the slot, Jalen Noel can do whatever you want him to. You need him in the slot, you need him on special teams. What do you need him to do? And then the rest of this wide receivers, I'm not quite sure how they figure that out. I feel like Xavier Hutchinson makes this football team, and then either Justin Watson or Braxton Berrios, or maybe Hutchinson doesn't make it, and it's a tough cut between him and Mechie. I don't see Mechie really making the football team. Maybe Hutch, he's trying to fight his way and claw his way in there a whole lot better than John Mechie, who's been dropping the football at camp. And it's upsetting to see that, because if we see it, coaches see it. And it's very upsetting because we're only getting clips. We're only getting clips of these of practices, and it just seems like every clip we get, John Mechie's dropping the football, man. So just imagine the entirety of practice. You can only see what you see out there. But hey, ultimately, this Houston Texans wide receiver group got a whole lot better, and I can't wait to see how Nick Caley implements the rest of these guys into the 2025 offense. Let me know down in the comment section, how do y'all feel about this wide receiver group? Show me show me the stats you think Jayden Higgins can ultimately have this season for the Houston Texans. Y'all make sure y'all do go down in that comment section, hit that like button. Y'all know to do y'all's thing. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.